Hare Krishna. Today, thank you everyone for joining the early morning this Bhagavatam session. So today we are going to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam 9.9, 9th canto, 9th chapter, the dynasty of Amshuman. Before going into the chapter, let us start with Mangalacharna prayers. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadato Sankirtanaicapitarau Kamalayatakshav Vishwambarau Dvijavarau Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavataro Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvaswapadambojau Radha Madana Mohanau नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So, in the yesterday chapter, what we have discussed is, so we are discussing the dynasty of Surya dynasty. So in that we have discussed many great history of the great kings of the Surya dynasty, Sun dynasty. So as part of that, we came to the story of Sagara. So Sagara was performing Ashwamedha Yajna, and the Devatas Indra stole the horse that is meant for the sacrifice, and he hidden that horse in the Kapilashrama. So when the sons of Sagara went to search for the horse, they digged entire earth. Some says that they dig near the seashore because there it is little wet and it is easy to dig. They started digging, and they went to the lower. They searched everywhere on the Bhumandalas. They could not find. So they thought who else would be the cause of disturbance for this horse sacrifice? Maybe it would be Rakshasas. So they thought, let us go. Rakshasas stay below the Bhumandala, so let us go down. So they started digging their planet and they went to the lower planets. And so while going, they say that in Ramayana also the description comes, they started killing many species that came along in their way. So actually, in Mahabharata and Ramayana, they say that his sons, the Sagara has 2 wives. Through one of the wife, he got 60,000 sons, and through another wife, he got Amshuman as one son, that he is Amshuman. So, but the 60,000 sons, they are very powerful, and they used to roam in the air, on all the planets. They used to roam here and there, and they're very powerful because they are very powerful. They are very proud also, very atrocious also. So sometimes they used to disturb Gandharvas and Devatas also. So these Devatas, they went to Brahma one time and they asked, what is this, the 60,000 people? They actually, how they were born, that is also a different story. to one of the wife who got the 60,000 sons. She actually gave birth to one of the she didn't actually give birth to 60,000 sons at once. She actually gave birth to a bottle god. So instead of the child, a bottle god came out. They thought, why this bottle god came? So she was about to throw that. So then Akashavani came and said that, don't throw that. So put the seeds of that, and from that the 60,000 sons will come. So then the other Muni Vasishtha, I think. So he kept in the ghee pots, and 60,000 sons came out of that. So Devatas were started asking Brahmaji that what is the 60,000 sons borning at one time? Why this is happening? And they are roaming in all the planets, and they are disturbing all of us. What is this? Why is this happening? And when would be the end of this atrocious things of the 60,000 sons? So then Brahmaji said, don't worry too much about them. They are so much proud, and within no time they'll get destroyed because of their own deeds. So the time came. So the 60,000 sons, when they went down, they saw the horse at Kapila Muni ashram. The bad thing that they did is they saw the horse at Kapila Muni ashram, but what they thought, they can directly take the horse and go. They thought this Muni, he's a Kapila Muni. He's an incarnation of the God himself, and he came to teach the Sankhya philosophy. He's peacefully sitting there and meditating. They doubted on him because of their so much power. So they were blindfolded with the knowledge. They don't have proper knowledge because they are proud, and they thought this is the person who stole the horse, and they try to offend him. They try to kill him. Let us kill. They even on the other Ramayana and Mahabharata says they are saying him is the Donga Muni. I mean, he was a thief. He's a thief, and he's a not a correct person. Such kind of they used it very such kind of words, and they offended the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Kapila Muni, the great sage. So because of this, they are burnt to ashes, because they have offended a Mahatmas. So because of their offense only, they are burnt to ashes. So Sukadeva Goswami clarifies this point, that not because they have not because of the angry that came out, the fire that came out of the Kapila Muni, they are burnt to ashes, but because of their own offense, they are burnt to ashes. And what happened afterwards? Kapila Muni said, then Amshuman went there in search of their 60,000 brothers. So he found that they are all burnt to ashes, and the horse is still there. So he prayed to Kapila Muni, and Kapila Muni taught him the Sankhya philosophy, and Kapila Muni said, your brothers, they will get delivered only because of the Ganga water. So someone may question why we can't give Jalatarpana with the water on the earth. Why there is need of a Ganga to descend to purify them. So Dharmashastra says that because so if someone is dead because of the curse of the Brahmanas, they have done they have done offense to the greatest Brahmana and Mahatma, like Kapila Muni. If someone has done offense to Brahmanas, or someone died because of the wrath of Brahmanas, if someone died because of the snake bite, and such kind of deaths, so they cannot get delivered with the normal water on this earth. So they can get delivered only by the pure water, like Ganga. So they say that because of this reason, Kapila Muni said Ganga has to come, because only by Ganga they can get delivered. So then after what happened, we will discuss in this chapter. After that, what happened, we will discuss in chapter. Sri Shuka Uvacha अंशुमांश तपस्तेपे गंगा गंगा नयन काम्यया कालं महान्तं नाशक्नोत् ततः कालेन संस्थितः. Then Sukadeva Goswami, he said, King Amshuman, like this, like his grandfather, performed austerities for a very long time. Nonetheless, he could not bring the Ganges to material world. Amshuman could not bring the Ganga to this material world. And thereafter, in due course, he died. Then Amshuman's son, Dilipas Tatsutastas Tadvad Asakta Kalam Eivan Bhagiratastasya Sutaha Tepesa Sumahat Tapaha. Like Amshuman himself, his son Dilipa, he also did so much tapasya. He tried to bring the Ganga to this material world. But in due course time, he also passed away. He also became victim of death and he could not achieve that. Then the Dilipa's son, Bhagiratha, he performed so much severe austerities to bring the Ganga to this middle world. The whole, their fathers and forefathers, they all were trying to bring the Ganga to this material world because to deliver these 60,000 Sakaraputras. So because of the desire of the forefather that carried, so Bhagiratha also did the tapasya. But this time Bhagiratha did so much tapasya and this desire got fulfilled. Darshayam ashatam devi prasanna varadasmite ityuktasvam abhiprayam shasham shavanato nrupaha. Thereafter, Mother Ganga appeared before King Bhagiratha and said, so Mother Ganga was pleased with the tapasya of Bhagiratha. So she appeared before him and she said, I am very much satisfied with your austerities, Bhagiratha, and I am now prepared to give you benediction. Ask your benediction, what you want. Being thus addressed by Ganga Devi, then the king Bhagiratha, he bowed his head before her and he explained his desire. Kopi darayita vegam patantyame mahitale anyata bhutalam bitva nrupayase rasadalam. So he explained his desire that please descend on this earth. Then Ganga, what she replied, when I fall from the sky to the surface of the planet Earth, the water will certainly be very forceful because the Ganga came till the heaven. It is still in the heavenly planet only. It didn't come to the Earth planet. So she said that if I came from that height and if I come to if I directly descend onto the Earth, then Earth will break and I may go till Rasatala Patala because with such so much force I descend. So someone should be there to hold that force and like transformer, the step down transformer will be there, right? So much current will come and it will step down and it will give to all houses. So like that, there should be someone to hold me and again distribute to reduce the force of mine and then distribute it to the earth. Kim chaham nabu amyasye naramai amrujantyagam mrujami tad agam kwaham rajam statra vichintyatam. O king, I do not wish to go down to planet Earth. And she's saying another reason also, I don't want to come to planet Earth because people in general on the planet, they come to take bath in my water to clean themselves of their sinful reactions. So, and my water will be full of those sinful reactions. When all the sinful reactions accumulate in me, how shall I become free of them? So I absorb all the sinful reactions. They come and take bath me. I absorb all the sinful reactions, but then all the sinful reactions get accumulated in me. How shall I become free from them? So you must consider this very carefully and answer. So then Bhagirath is saying, Sri Bhagirath Uvacha Sadhavo Nyasina Shanta Brahmishta Loka Pavana Harantyakam Tenga Sangat Teshvastehi Agabid Darihi. So Bhagirath is said, those were saintly, sadhavo nyasina shanta. So those were saintly because of devotional service, and nyasinas, that means sannyasi, and are therefore in renounced order, shanta, free from material desires, and brahmishta, those are fixed in Brahma, that means on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those are pure devotees, expert in following the regulatory principles mentioned in Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior, loka pavana, and are able to loka pavana, and they are able to deliver all the fallen souls. So such kind of a pure devotees, when such pure devotees take bath in your water, so then what happens? Then he's saying that the sinful reactions accumulated from the other people will certainly be counteracted. For such devotees, always keep in core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions. So he's basically saying that pure devotees, they are loka pavana, so they can deliver the entire universe. So when such devotees come and take bath in your Ganga, in your water, so then all the sinful reactions that got accumulated, they get vanquished. So in one of the Vaishnava song, they said, Brahmanda Darite Dare Tare Shakti Jana. I mean, the devotees of the Gauranga, they have the ability to deliver entire universe. So that is the power of the pure devotee. Even Ganga get purified when they take bath in the Ganga water. Dharayishyati te vegam ruddhastvatma sharirinam yasmin otam idam protam vishvam sativa tantushu. So then he said, then Bhagirath, for the first condition, he said, don't worry about sinful reactions. When pure devotees come and take bath in your water, all the sinful reactions which were accumulated, they will be counteracted. Then for the first question, so he's answering, like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe in all its latitude and longitude is situated under different potencies of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this entire universe is full, everywhere is covered with the different potencies of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the super soul in the embodied soul. So he can sustain your forceful waves on his head. So Shiva is there, so he will sustain your forceful waves and he will slow down your pravaha onto this earth. Iti yuktva sanrupo devam tapasato shayachivam kalenal piyasa rajam tasyeshascha atushyata. After saying this, what Bhagirath did? Atushyata. So he satisfied the Lord Shiva by performing austerities. He did tapasya for Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, here it is called Atushyata. He becomes quickly satisfied. We call him Ashudosha also, right? Ashudosha means who gets quickly satisfied. So Lord Shiva was very quickly satisfied with Bhagirath's tapasya. For Ganga, he had to do much tapasya, but for Shiva, he was very quickly satisfied. Tateti rajnya vihitam sarvaloka hita shivaha dadara vahito gangam padaputa jalam hare. When King Bhagirath approached Lord Shiva and requested him to sustain the forceful waves of Ganga, Lord Shiva said, okay, he accepted the proposal. So let it be so, tatastu, he said. Then with great attention, he sustained the Ganga on his head. For the water of Ganga is purifying having emanated from the toes of Lord Vishnu. So why Lord Shiva accepted the Ganga on his head, why he immediately accepted the proposal, is because here it is a Padaputa Jalam Hare. This Ganga is emanating from the toes of Lord Vishnu. So when there is one of in Vamana Vrittantam, in Vamana Charitra, Vamana Vrittantam, what happens? Vamana Leela. When Vamana growed, he is trying to measure the entire universe with his 2-3 feet. So with the initial feet, he measured all the lower planets and the Bhumandala, and he increased his size so much, and he lifted his left leg, and when he lifted his left leg, he's trying to measure the entire universe, upper planetary systems. So his one of the toe finger, so it touched the shell of the universe, and because of that there was a small hole, Chidram, and there is a outside of this Brahmanda there is a Viraja river, and the Viraja river flowed into this universe, touching the lotus feet of the Lord Vamana. And some say that Lord Brahma catch that water in the Kamandalu, and then it flowed down. Then that came as the Ganga, and that came till heavenly planets. Now, because of the Bhagirath Tapasya, that is going to come onto the earthly planet. Lord Shiva immediately said, because this is emanating from the toes of Lord Vishnu, I will immediately accept it, because this is purifying, and I will get purified because by accepting this. So he was very happy to accept it. Bhagirathassa Rajarshir Ninye Bhuvana Pavanim Yatra Swapitrinam Deha Basmi Bhutasma Serate. So, what Shiva did, Lord Shiva did, he went on to the Himalayas, he opened his Jatajut, his hair, and he let the Ganga fall on his head. So then what happened? Great and saintly King Bhagiratha brought the Ganga, which can deliver all the fallen souls to that planet on the earth where the bodies of his forefather lay burnt to ashes. So Ganga, he descended on the earth, and it followed where Bhagiratha was showing the path. So like you can see, the Ganga is following the Bhagiratha. Atena Vayuvegena Prayantam Anudhavati Deshan Punanti Nirdhagdhan Asinchat Sagaratmajam. So Bhagiratha mounted on a swift chariot and drove before Mother Ganga, who followed him, purifying many countries. So like many rishas from the Himalaya to where the Ganga meets the ocean. So the Ganga followed wherever Bhagiratha is going, and until they reach the ashes of Bhagiratha's forefather. So Ganga reached the place where Bhagiratha's forefather ashes are there. The sons of Sagara, who were thus sprinkled with water from the Ganga. So the ashes were sprinkled with the water of the Ganga. Yajjalasparsha matrena brahmadanda hata api sagaratmaja divam jagmuhu kevalam deha basmabihi. Because the sons of Sagara Maharaja had offended a great personality like Kapila Muni, the heat of their body has increased and they were burned to ashes. They were burned to ashes because of their own misdeeds. And like in the picture, they were not actually burned by the Kapila Muni. I just kept that for the reference. But simply by being sprinkled with the water of the Ganga, all of them became eligible to go to heavenly planets. What then is to be said of those who use the water of Mother Ganga to worship her? So then now the glory of Ganga is being explained here. So the Sagara Putras, 60,000 sons of Sagara, they have offended a great personality like Kapila Muni, and they are burned to ashes because of their misdeeds. And when this Ganga water were sprinkled on their ashes, not on their bodies, on their ashes, they become eligible to go to heavenly planets. Then what to be said of those people who use the water of Mother Ganga to worship her? So what to say about the people who worship Mother Ganga? They will surely go to the higher planets and they will surely get purified, because this Mother Ganga is the water that is emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu. Asmibhutanga sangena Swaryata Sagaratmaja Kim Puna Shraddaya Devi Sevante Yedruta Vrataha. Simply by having water from Ganga come in contact with the ashes of their burnt bodies, the sons of Sagara Maharaja were elevated to heavenly planets. Therefore, what is said to be of a devotee who worships Mother Ganga faithfully with a determined vow, such kind of a person will surely become devotee. Those who regularly worship Ganga faithfully with determined devotion. No one can imagine the benefit that accrues to such a devotee. Such a devotee will surely go to higher planets, surely will get purified. So Prabhupada also writes in the Bharpat that those who regularly take bath in Ganga and those who regularly worship Ganga, it is observed that they become the devotees of Lord Vishnu for sure. So that means Ganga purifies them. Nahi etat param ascharya swardhunya yad ihoditam ananta charanamboja prasutaya bhavachchidaha. Because Mother Ganga emanates from the lotus toe of the Supreme Person of Godhead, Anantadeva, she is able to liberate one from material bondage. Therefore, whatever is described here about her is not at all wonderful. There is no need to wonder just by sprinkling the Ganga water how they went to heavenly planets. There is no need to wonder about that, because that water is coming from the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead. And because of that, she is able to liberate one from the material bondage. Sannivesha mano yasmin Shraddhaya munayo mala traigunyam dustyajam hidva sadhyo yatastad atmatam. Great sages, completely freed from material lusty desires, devote their minds fully to the service of the Lord. Such persons are liberated from material bondage without difficulty, and they become transcendentally situated, acquiring the spiritual quality of the Lord. This is the glory of the Supreme Person of Godhead. So now the glory of Supreme Person of Godhead is saying, because of this glory of Supreme Person of Godhead, so the water coming from the lotus feet of the Ganga, and that is also very much purifying. So who will meditate on the Supreme Person of Godhead? Who can meditate? Great sages who are completely free from material lusty desires. They can devote their minds fully to the service of the Lord. Such persons are liberated from material bondage without difficulty. So such kind of a Lord is Supreme Person of Godhead. From his lotus feet, the Ganga has come. So that's why it could deliver. Shruto Bhagirata Jagne Tasya Nabo Paro Bhavat Sindhu Dvipastatasmad Ayutayus Tato Bhavat. So now the descendants of Bhagirata is coming into picture. Bhagirata had a son named Shruta, whose son was Naba. This son was different from the previously described Naba. And Naba had son Sindhudvipa, and from Sindhudvipa, Ayutayu came. Rutuparno Naloshanko Yosva Vidyam Ayannalat Datvaksha Hrudayam Chasmai Sarvakamas Sutam. So from Ayutayu came Rutuparna, who became friend of Nalaraja. This Rutuparna became the friend of Nalaraja. This Rituparna taught Nalaraja the art of gambling. So we hear the story of Nala Damayanti, right? So he did. He also gambled. He also lost entire Rajya to his brothers. So that part. So that Nala king. So the Rituparna taught Nalaraja the art of gambling, and Nalaraja gave Rituparna lessons in controlling and maintaining horses. So Nalaraja was very good at controlling and maintaining horses. So he taught that to Rituparna. The sons of Rituparna was Sarvakama. Tata Sudashasthatputro Damayanti Patirnrupaha Ahur Mitrasaham Yamvai Kalmashangrim Putakvachit Vasishta Shapad Raksho Bud Anapatya Swakarmana. Sarvakama had son named Sudasha, and whose son was Saudasha. And this Saudasha's wife is Damayanti. This is not Nala Damayanti's wife. Nala Damayanti, not that Damayanti. This is another Damayanti. He was husband of Damayanti. Saudasha is sometimes known as Mitrasaha and Kalmashapada. Why he was called Mitrasaha and Kalmashapada, we'll discuss. Because of his own misdeed, Mitrasaha was sonless and was cursed by Vasishta to become a man-eater. So he was cursed by Vasishta to become a man-eater. That means Rakshasa. Now immediately Parikshit Maharaj is asking, Sri Rajo Vacha Kim Nimitto Guru Shapaha Saudashasya Mahatmanaha Etadveditum Michamaha Katyatam Naraho Yadi. Parikshit Maharaj, no, certainly that who were born in the Sun dynasty, they are certainly glorious, and Saudasha is a glorious person. So he immediately started questioning, why did Vasishta, the spiritual master of Saudasha, curse the great soul? I wish to know of this. I want to know what happened, what exactly happened. If it is not a confidential matter, please describe it to me. Then Sukadeva Goswami is explaining why he got that curse. Sri Shuka Uvacha Saudasho Mrugayam Kinchin Charan Raksho Jaganaha Momocha Brataram Sota Gata Pratichikishaya. Sukadeva Goswami said, once Saudasha what he did, he went to live in the forest. So some say that because there were so many cruel animals that were growing in the forest, and it is eating all the normal animals like deer and others. So there is getting imbalance in the system. Like, so when tigers grow more, then there will be no more normal animals, right? So people complained about it, and he went to kill these cruel animals. So once he went to live in the forest, where he killed a man-eater Rakshasa. So in Bhagavatam, there is no description that actually these two Rakshasas were there. They came in the form of the tiger or lion. So in the form of the cruel animals, they were hunting all the animals and the people, so who were coming in the forest. In Bhagavatam, that description doesn't come, but in Ramayana and Mahabharata, that description comes. So where he killed a man-eater Rakshasa. So he shot an arrow, and which is the Rakshasa who is in the form of tiger or lion. It got killed. And where he killed man-eater Rakshasa, but he forgave and released the man-eater's brother. The other Rakshasa he forgave and lived him. And that brother, he decided to take revenge on Saudasha. And what he did is Sanchintayan Agam Rajnaha Sudarupa Daro Gruhe Gurave Bhoktu Kamaya Paktva Ninye Naramisham. So then what happened? that he decided to take revenge. So what he did, thinking to harm him, he became a cook at king's house. One day, the king's spiritual master Vasishtha Muni was invited for dinner. Then Rakshasa cooked served him a human flesh. What happened actually is that, so once Saudasha, he did some yajna, and all the brahmanas were fed, and he thought to invite Vasishtha Muni also. And what actually this Rakshasa did, this is I'm telling the stories from the Mahabharata and Ramayana also. So because some parts are there in Mahabharata and Ramayana also, missing parts. So what this Rakshasa did, he became as a he took the form of a Vasishtha Muni, and he came to the king and said, I want to eat flesh. You please cook flesh, and I want to eat it. So following the Guru's order, he thought maybe that is his desire. He thought, let me cook. So he thought he ordered he ordered, and that Rakshasa only again came. Instead of normal flesh, he cooked human flesh, and he gave it to the king. And king went and gave it to the Vasishtha Muni. Parivekshamanam Bhagavan Vilokya Bhakshyam Anjasa Rajanam Ashapat Kruddho Raksho hi evam bhavishyasi. So, while examining the food given to him, Vasishtha Muni, by his yoga shakti, by his mystic power, he could understand that it was unfit to eat. This is not fit for it. This is a human flesh, being the flesh of human being. He was very angry at this and immediately cursed Saudasha to become man-eater. So he became very angry, and he immediately cursed Saudasha, saying that you try to insult me. This food is not fit for me to eat, because you served me human flesh. You served human flesh to me to eat it. So let you become such a person who eat human flesh. That means you become a man-eater Rakshasa. So that curse he gave. Rakshakritam tad viditva chakre dwadasha varshikam sopyapi abo anjalim adaya gurum saptum samudyata. When Vasishtha understood that human flesh had been served by the Rakshasa, not by the king, he undertook 12 years of austerity to cleanse himself for having cursed the faultless king. What happened? He later, at once in the spur of that angry moment, he immediately cursed the Saudasha. But later he got to know, because Rakshasa actually did this act. There is no mistake from the Saudasha. So the anger is such that he actually later Vasishtha thought the Saudasha did this yajna and for getting a son, and why would he serve me such human flesh? He would certainly know that if he serves human flesh to me, I will certainly curse him. So he want a son, and we did Putra Kameshti yajna, and why would he serve such kind of a food to me? So this would not happen. So later he got to know that by his yoga shakti, Rakshasa actually did this act. Then he actually cursed him to become, and then Saudasha also. Then he found that Saudasha is faultless. Then he said that instead of for entire life you should not be entire life Rakshasa. Let you be Rakshasa only for 12 years. So, and for the 12 years, Vasishtha also did tapasya, underwent austerity to cleanse himself for having cursed the faultless king. He also atoned for his misdeed. So then what happened is Varito madayantyapo rushitihi padayorjagau dishamkam avanim sarvam pashyan jivamayam nrupaha. So Saudasha also became angry. Without any fault, Vasishtha cursed him. So he also took water in his hand and chanted the Shapa mantra. He was also about to curse. So, but the wife of Saudasha, Madhyanti, said, "Don't do this. He is our Guru. You cannot curse the Guru like this." So then the king saw the 10 directions, the sky surface of the globe everywhere, and he thought everywhere the life is there. So then what he did that we will discuss tomorrow. So till now, what we have discussed. So Ganga Avatarana happened. Ganga descended to earthly planet because of the tapasya of Bhagirath, and Shiva has slowed down the force of Ganga by accepting the Ganga on his head. And then Bhagirath's descendants were discussed, and in the descendants, one of the descendants is Saudasha, and Saudasha is cursed by Vasishtha to become a Rakshasa. Why he was cursed? Because of this, whatever story we have discussed, the Rakshasa brother, he cooked human flesh and served it to Vasishtha, gave it to king to serve him to Vasishtha, and Vasishtha thought it was mistake of Saudasha and he cursed him. Then what happened? Saudasha thought to curse again, to curse the Vasishtha also, but he didn't do, because Madhyanti, his wife Madhyanti, stopped him. So then what happened, we will discuss in the next class tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Now, anyone have any questions or anything to ask, anything to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. Prabhuji, I had one doubt. Is there any background that why Bhagiratha could bring Ganga Mata to earth? Because Anshuman and Dilip couldn't bring they couldn't success in their austerity.
I don't know any specific reason why only Bhagiratha did it. Maybe Bhagiratha did that for a long time, or maybe because of any previous karma, but it is there is no reason specified, Mataji, as far as I know, why only Bhagiratha could bring. Okay, if there are no questions, so
Prabhuji,
yes.
one more doubt, Prabhuji. Kapilashram, where it is Prabhuji, in the down, in the lower planetary systems, or where it exists, Prabhuji, because that Sagara, the sons of King Sagara, they were digging the sea, digging that earth, and that time they could see that Kapilashram. So where the Kapilashram is existing, Prabhuji?
So according to description of Bhagavatam, it is in the Rasatala planet. In the Rasatala planet, that Kapilashram was there. So he took the Ganga till there. So the Ganga, it is called Vaitarni in the lower planets.
Okay. So Mother Ganga flowed till the Rasatala, Prabhuji?
That's what they say. So because the Kapilashram is in there, so the Ganga went till there.
Okay, Prabhuji, I think we can close the session. Thank you very much for the session.